Welcome back, and thank you for being here. Whether you've been part of this space for a while or this is your very first time, I'm truly glad we've crossed paths today. If you're a Leo, or if Leo shows up strongly in your birth chart, you might be feeling something shifting right now. Not loud, not obvious, but undeniable. And that's exactly why this message found its way to you. I'm not here to tell you every detail of what's coming. I'm here to offer you a rhythm, a quiet knock from the universe, right on time, right on this day. Because April 15th isn't just another date. It carries a spark, a stirring, something inside you that's ready to rise, even if you don't have the words for it yet. And you'll see more of that in the next part of this video, where we explore what's happening above and how it moves what's happening within. So take a few moments to simply be here. You don't need to analyze everything. Just listen. And if something I say makes you pause, even for a breath, that might be the very part of your soul that needed to hear it. On April 15th, Mercury officially enters Aries, leaving behind the diffuse and emotional waters of Pisces. This planetary shift brings a notable change in mental energy, one that is fast, direct, and action-oriented. For Leo, or for anyone with prominent fire placements such as Mercury, the Sun, or Ascendant in Leo, this is a time when your thoughts and words carry more weight and your ability to make decisions quickly becomes a key asset. Mercury in Aries doesn't hesitate. It prioritizes clarity, speed, and instinct over diplomacy or strategic delay. This can work in your favor, especially if you've been sitting on an idea, hesitating to speak up, or delaying a necessary decision. Now the energy supports you in cutting through uncertainty. The key here is to speak from a place of intention, to mean what you say and be prepared to follow through. With Mercury in Aries, what you initiate can take root quickly, but only if your words and actions are aligned. For Leo specifically, this transit highlights your leadership tendencies. It's an ideal time to step into roles that require initiative, boldness, and clear communication. Whether you're navigating a career move, asserting your position in a group dynamic, or expressing a personal boundary, the astrological conditions support forward motion. But without finesse, this energy can also cause unnecessary friction. It's important to be self-aware. Leo's natural confidence, paired with Aries' impulsiveness, can sometimes lead to overstepping. Stay focused on the outcome you want, not just on being heard. This period is not about refinement, it's about ignition. What you start now will evolve over time, but you need to begin. If there's a conversation you've been avoiding, a decision that's been lingering, or a goal that needs movement, this is the window to act. You don't need to have all the answers, but you do need to take the first step. Remember, Mercury in Aries rewards initiative. And as a Leo, you're not meant to wait for permission, you're meant to lead. Leo, April 15 isn't just a day for self-expression. It's a pivotal moment for recalibrating your professional identity and your financial direction. With Mercury now officially transiting into Aries, a fellow fire sign, there's an undeniable surge in mental clarity, decision-making power, and the urge to act. You may find you're thinking sharper, more assertive, and yes, a little more impulsive than usual. This isn't necessarily a liability, in fact. Today's astrological climate favors those who lead with initiative. What's important to understand is that Mercury in Aries doesn't reward hesitation. It brings windows of opportunity that open quickly and close just as fast. And more often than not, only those who are ready to step forward, even without having every detail lined up, will be in a position to benefit. That said, acting doesn't mean rushing. It means decisive movement based on internal conviction, not external pressure. This is an ideal day to evaluate how you're showing up in your professional life. Are you visible in the ways you want to be? Are you playing a passive role in your own career story, waiting for validation or approval? Astrology today challenges you to claim space, to initiate rather than respond, to pitch an idea, lead a meeting, or propose a shift that's been on your mind for some time. You don't need perfect condition. You need presence and purpose. Financially, this is also a key day for assessing whether your income structure aligns with your effort and expertise. Mercury in Aries supports bold conversations. Whether it's negotiating a raise, discussing new terms, or reworking your pricing model if you're self-employed. If you've been undercharging, underestimating, or underrepresenting your value, this transit helps you course correct. It reminds you are the one who sets the tone for how others treat your time and talent. You may also feel drawn to take financial risks today, investing in something new, putting money behind a passion project, or jumping into a side hustle. While the energy supports boldness, it also requires discernment. Avoid decisions made purely on emotion or ego. Look at your numbers, your bandwidth, and your long-term goals. If something feels rushed or misaligned, give yourself a pause. But if it feels like a calculated risk that reflects your values and vision, this is your cue to move. In leadership roles or collaborative environments, today places you in a position of influence. People may look to you for direction, and the way you communicate will matter. Clarity, directness, and solution-oriented thinking are what Mercury in Aries demands, and as a Leo, this is a natural strength when you're grounded. If you're navigating conflict or change within your team, take the lead by stating your vision clearly and calmly without theatrics. You'll be respected for it. To sum up, April 15 is not about over-planning, it's about strategic initiation. Say the thing, start the process, ask the question. Your career and financial trajectory are not static. They shift with the decisions you make, and today, you're more supported than usual in making bold, future-forward moves. The universe isn't offering guarantees, it's offering momentum. The question is whether you're ready to match it with action, and if you are, the results may come faster than you think. And if you're feeling a subtle push, a sense that you need to act, pivot, or finally take control of something you've been putting off, that's not random. Mercury in Aries is activating your bold thinking, the part of you that no longer wants to follow a script but instead wants to write your own. Ideas you previously dismissed as too risky or not yet are now coming back with clarity. The real question is not whether you're fully prepared, but whether you're willing to step forward and become ready through action. If you're working within a structured organization, pay attention to the small shifts around you. A new assignment, a change in team dynamics, or an unclaimed leadership gap. These may not look like formal promotions at first, but they are invitations. This is the time to raise your hand, offer a solution, or volunteer for something that stretches your skill set. The person who speaks up and acts first often sets the tone. And today, that person can be you. For those of you in creative fields, freelance work, or entrepreneurial ventures, this is a moment to realign your brand, sharpen your message, or launch something streamlined and bold. You don't need a massive overhaul. You just need to say the right thing to the right audience at the right time. It could be a new product name, a tighter pitch, or a post that articulates what your audience has been feeling but couldn't yet express. Breakthroughs often don't come from grand gestures. They come from one well-timed move. Finally, don't underestimate the power of personal connection. A short conversation, a follow-up email, or a call you've been meaning to make could be the key to something unexpected. Today is a day to initiate, speak up, and insert yourself into momentum. Because if you're not confident enough to introduce yourself, the universe has no reason to do it for you. Today, you may notice something subtle but powerful rising within you, a sharpened intuition, a kind of inner clarity that lets you sense the truth before it's spoken. It's not emotional guesswork, it's not vague instinct, it's precision, the kind that comes when heart and mind operate in sync. This is the time to reconnect with your natural intuitive intelligence, tune into your surroundings, read the energy in the room, and trust the first feeling, the first impression. You no longer need external confirmation to validate what you already know deep down. That inner clarity, that gut sense, you are that light. You may notice this showing up in small but impactful ways. Sensing when someone isn't being fully honest, feeling that a particular opportunity has more to offer than it seems on paper, or knowing exactly when to speak and when to hold silence. These moments are not coincidence. They're signals, and if you trust them, they can move you forward more efficiently than logic alone. For those working closely with others, managing teams, negotiating, selling, or building community, this intuitive edge becomes a competitive advantage. You'll be able to anticipate needs, read between the lines, and adjust your approach without needing to be told. It's a form of emotional intelligence that functions almost like foresight, and, under Mercury in Aries, it's lightning fast. And if you're in the midst of personal change, healing, realignment, or simply trying to live more honestly, this inner ability is your guide. It helps you filter out what no longer fits, even when your rational mind still wants to hold on. So today, don't overanalyze everything. Just pause and ask yourself, what does this feel like? Then trust that first answer, not because it's comfortable, but because it's true. But it's important to be cautious with haste. Mercury in Aries brings speed, boldness, and directness to communication, but it can also sharpen your tone more than necessary. Words can cut deeper under this influence, and while honesty is vital, truth without compassion can do more harm than good. Leo, you're known for your courage and your ability to speak from the heart. That's your strength. But during this transit, you'll need to balance that heart with discernment. Speak clearly, speak truthfully, but make sure your delivery doesn't undermine your message. This is not the time to lash out or correct others just for the sake of proving a point. It's a time to ask yourself, what outcome do I want from this conversation? If your goal is to build trust, shift a dynamic, or open a door, then your words must reflect that purpose. With Mercury in Aries, reactions come fast, but power lies not in reaction, it lies in reflection. Instead of meeting intensity with intensity, practice restraint. This doesn't mean silence or inaction. It means allowing yourself enough space to choose responses that serve your long-term goals, not short-term pride. You may feel pressure to prove yourself, to speak louder, move faster, or take bold action just to stay ahead. But sustainable growth doesn't come from frantic motion. It comes from strategic investment. And right now, that investment should be directed inward. Focus on what you're building within yourself, stronger communication habits, clearer thinking, and the emotional intelligence to lead others without overpowering them. The influence of Mercury in Aries rewards leadership, but only when it's rooted in substance, not show. So rather than chasing applause or rushing toward visible results, put your energy into the foundation, your competence, your consistency, and your presence. When you walk into a room, what energy do you bring? When you speak, are your words aligned with your values? These are the subtle but critical questions that shape how others perceive you, and more importantly, how you shape your own path forward. In short, don't confuse speed with progress. The most impactful leaders aren't those who speak first. They're the ones who speak last, with clarity and conviction. You don't have to force your influence. You are influential when your words carry weight, your actions have integrity, and your presence reflects purpose. That's how you lead, Leo. Not with noise, but with resonance. And right now, the cosmos is giving you every tool to step into that role, fully, authentically, and with lasting impact. Today is the first spark. Not one meant to burn you, but to forge you into something stronger, more refined, more aligned with your purpose. The heat you feel now is not a warning, it's a calling. A call to rise into the most powerful, honest, and luminous version of yourself. Not someday, not when you're ready, but now. If that brings up fear, let it. Fear is not a flaw, it's part of the process. It means you're standing at the edge of something real, something that matters. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the choice to move forward with it still in your chest, to keep walking even when your legs are shaking, to speak even when your voice wavers. This is the beginning of a new kind of strength, one built not on perfection, but on presence. You don't have to prove anything to become who you are meant to be. You only have to show up, again and again and again, in alignment with your truth. Let this fire shape you. Let it reveal the parts of you that were hidden under expectation, doubt, or delay. You don't need to be louder. You don't need to be faster. You just need to be real. And as you step forward, imperfect, maybe uncertain, but willing, remember this: no one else can play your part in the story. No one else carries your light, and no one else is being asked to rise quite like you are right now. So take a breath, feel the weight of the moment, and step into it anyway. That's where transformation begins. If you felt this message resonate with you, if something in today's reading touched a nerve, brought clarity, or simply reminded you of who you really are, I invite you to acknowledge it. Not for me, but for yourself. Leave a fire emoji in the comments, share a thought from your heart, or simply write, "I'm ready." That act, however small it may seem, is a declaration. It's a way of anchoring your energy and affirming to the universe, "I'm here. I'm listening. I'm stepping forward." And if this is your first time here, I want to personally welcome you. You've found a space that isn't about prediction for prediction's sake, but about reconnection to your truth, your path, your power. I invite you to subscribe and join this growing circle of souls who are walking their journey with intention and awareness. When you hit that button and turn on the notification bell, you're saying yes to more than content. You're saying yes to the kind of messages that meet you exactly where you are, right when you need them most. I'm Luna Celestine, and it's been an honor to walk this part of the path with you today. Whether you're in a moment of clarity or uncertainty, strength or surrender, know this: you are not lost. You are not behind. You are exactly where you're meant to be, and the light you carry in your heart has always been enough.